I'm up to 5 peoples. Make you do some. You can. Whoops. Pushed the wrong button. Turn the wrong camera on. That's okay. We don't need to wait the rest of the time, do we? We're here. We've got a few of you guys here. We can start this thing. So, what's going on, everybody? Things have been kind of crazy around here. I don't know. I think spring has sprung. Maybe not weather-wise here. What's up, Jason? But definitely, it's been getting busier and crazier, and it's just, well, yeah, it's just been absolutely crazy. So, um, today I've been working on a lot of stuff for the Tinner battles. We got a lot of wheels turning. If you guys are going to the Tinner battles, that's awesome. If you're not going to the Tinner battles, we're definitely gonna miss you there. Carlos has talked me into doing a tool talk segment at the Tinner battles, which I think is an excellent idea because at the Tinner battles there is going to be a lot of different tools being used. So it'll give us an opportunity to talk to different people that um a lot of different people that are using different tools and the reason they use this tool over that tool and all that other stuff. So that's going to be exciting. Um I will probably be on Saturday morning next week. So, hey, what's up, Adam? I was actually I was going to message you today and I didn't, but I was going to. So just know that. And let's see. What are we talking about today? Well, we got a lot of things to talk about. The one thing that popped into my head, and Alex kind of helped me out with it a little bit, was, you know, the amount of money that some people spend that actually in the long run really adds up. It makes a lot of difference. Now, also, it's kind of along the lines of what I was thinking. What popped into my head was, why the heck are tint kegs so expensive? When you got people out there building them for, $150, and what makes mine so special? Am I getting rich off of you? Or even Jeff Welch, I didn't even think about it. I could have probably had him on. I have Tim from T-Towns. He's got some exciting stuff going on for me because I've been having a bit of a struggle resourcing the what's up, Brian? Resourcing the and Clayton, David. Yeah, so I've been having a little bit of a struggle getting my extra large dash towels back in, and My printer has some life changing events happening right now, so I reached out to Tim from T Town Tints and T Town T shirts. If you guys don't know, Tim does some amazing printing, and um, he does some embroidery. And if you guys need work shirts made, printed or embroidered or any of that stuff, he's probably your go-to guy. And we do know that if we are going to spend money, the best place to spend money is right inside of our industry. So you were gonna, but I guess I'll just go and hide in the closet and cry. I'm not cool enough. You're cool enough. You just have no idea how crazy things have been. Jeff said, thanks for a great tent keg. Just got it last week and it looks good. I do some. Oh, I wished I could show you some of the things that I'm working on for the Tinner battles, but those are kind of, you guys got a sneak peek with the battle keg, but there is much more to come. It's going to be some exciting stuff. Autobahn has jumped on board with doing some stuff, and a few others, and we've got a surprise for. Well, I can't say because it might ruin it. So yeah, we got a lot of things happening coming on the Tinner battle, so be there if you can. Um, Real quick though, let's switch cameras for just a second. We'll look at what I got going on here, because one thing I hear a lot is, or I read a lot in the posts is, don't waste your money on those guys. You can build a keg for 150 bucks or less. And one thing, let's start with the tank. And I don't have a used tank here. What's up, Vinny? Um, I don't have a used tank here to show you, but one thing I can tell you, these used tanks that you're buying that say property of 7 Up or Coke or whatever on them, none of them guys, this is exciting. None of them guys actually had uh, a keg made after 1985. In 1985, um, the bag in the box soda was introduced, and these types of kegs stopped being. Oh, I'm still looking at the camera over here, even though I'm not on screen. These types of kegs that you're used to seeing right now haven't been made since then until, well, several years ago. Microbrew became a thing and homebrew became a thing, and so they started manufacturing these. So one thing I can promise you is, if you're buying a used, especially a Pinlock keg, if you're buying a used Pinlock keg, you're only saving about half your money, maybe a little bit more than half, and you're buying a 35, 38-year old, um, 37, I don't know. Somebody do the math for me. It's 2022 and they stopped making those in 1985. So that's how old of a keg you're buying. Now, these things do virtually last forever. Anybody that's watched Billy Ayton made a video of his old keg, and his was made in 1975 and it was flat falling apart. I mean, they don't last forever, but they do last a long, long time. I give a lifetime warranty with every one of my kegs. But um, start there. Spend the extra dollars for what? 37 years, Vinny. Thanks. Um, the the difference in money, say you can $40 or $50, you can buy a used keg that's 37 years old at its youngest. And it goes, because I God, I don't remember. I think it was the 1940s that they introduced them. So I mean, you could get a keg that old. So spend the extra money. You're talking 40 bucks. Even if you don't buy it from me, you can go online and buy a brand new one for $120. The difference between a brand new one for $120 versus one from me, I believe mine are 165, and you guys can do some math with me on this. In fact, let's take a look so I don't lie to you. People always ask me, how much is this or how much is that? And I got too many SKUs, I don't know. But so, for instance, a 5 gallon, because everybody believes they want a 5 gallon, and I love that. So for a 5 gallon keg, okay, I'm at $170. Now you can go spend $120 and buy it from a home brew supply place and save yourself $50 if the things I'm about to talk to you about are not important. So we're back over here, and let me move this out of the way. So when you get one of my kegs, this is what you get. You get one of these lids. It's already got the hole drilled in it. See, we drill all the holes ourselves, and we put a brass valve stem in it. Now you can buy these on Amazon. These are only like $5 or something, and get the all brass one. Don't get the one that says it's stainless because they lie. The ones that says it's stainless has a stainless cap in it, and nobody wants that in their life, because the rest of it, even the washer, will rust on your lid and create a rust ring on your lid. Nobody wants that in their life. So we start with that. We also we take every one of these apart, and this is your pressure release valve from the home brew store. This is going to hold about 70 psi before it pops and lets the air out. For a lot of people, that's enough, but if you're not paying attention and you go over 70 psi, unfortunately, when you pull your connector off of your tank, if it's under pressure, it's going to blow the O-ring out of that. That's the other thing we change. We change the O-rings in the posts so they'll handle the pressure that we want to give them. We rebuild this and actually make this go up to 110 psi because, let's face it, even if you only drive 70 mile an hour on the freeway because that's the speed limit, you want your car to be able to do more. And same thing with a keg. Even if you only want to put 60 psi in it, you want your keg to be able to hold whatever you want to put in it. Say, for instance, you want to rinse something heavily or something. I don't know. Or you want to have a water fight and you need more pressure. Or you just like it at 110 psi. Either way, it's all good. So that's that. Just right here, the time that it takes us to drill the lid, put the $5 piece in, and rebuild this. I don't know what it's worth, but I know we're up to $125. We wrap each keg, and we let you choose which wrap you want. And a wrap is going to cost you like $40, $45 just to get printed. So now between the $5 on the valve stem and the wrap, we exceeded that. Like I said, some of what we do for the keg is not something that you would need. But, and another thing that I didn't think about is you guys are probably talking to me. Oh, you're not. Okay, good. Or is that good? I don't know. Anyway, so that's just the keg itself. So we got a keg, we've got a lid, we drill the hole in the lid, we put the new piece in there, we change all the O-rings, all the necessary O-rings, and we upgrade your pressure release valve to 110 psi. That by itself, now we're already over 160 or $170 invested in your cost. Now I buy kegs 100 at a time or more, and I get a little bit better price, so that helps me keep my costs down. Also, I buy some of these parts thousands at a time, most of them hundreds at a time, and I get a little better price on those. But moving forward to the hose, and this is the killer. If you're buying a tent keg, you're buying a whole dang thing, or you're wanting to build your own. Now, you can go out and buy a 25-foot Flexzilla hose, and Flexzilla hose is not a bad hose. It is absolutely not a bad hose. In my opinion, it's not the best hose, and I'm going to show you and tell you why. But Flexzilla, you can go, and I think they're like $30 or $40. You can get it with the ends already on it, and that's super cool because it's already got a swivel on one end. Except for those swivels and those fittings are made out of aluminum. And as we've found through experience, extended exposure to aluminum with water, constant exposure is going to cause the aluminum to corrode. They call it white rust, but it gets this white corrosion on it. And then that gums up your filter, and it makes it really difficult for your spray to get out. And it also eventually pushes its way and forces its way through your filter to your tint job, and then you're ruining windows. And so that's no good. What we use is an all brass design. Um, Actually, let me pull this down. Okay, that's a little bit better. And that's facing over there. We don't want it facing over. Oh, we're gonna have to use a button. Hold on, guys. I got this. Wrong way. There we go. That should be right about. Yeah, look at that. Look at those hands. Um, so these are the most awesome swivels in the world. Under pressure with 110 psi behind it, it still swivels freely, and that's just amazing all by itself. Um, it's a two-piece connection. I don't personally. That's not how it goes. Personally, I don't crimp anything because if you guys do have a problem, say you set your heat gun on the hose or something, burn a hole in it, it starts leaking. Drag it across a snapped off razor blade because you don't think that it's necessary to put razor blades in the garbage can. For whatever reason, if you spring a leak in your hose, whoops, I'm way over here. If you spring a leak in your hose, this sucker um, is going to save your bacon because this goes onto the hose right here. So this will screw on here, and I'm going to do it. This is one of the reasons why the Flexzilla hose isn't as good because this is meant to screw on reverse thread onto your hose. But look at what we got going on here. That's because the quarter-inch Flexzilla hose is not actually quarter-inch. Flexzilla hose is made in Taiwan, and I don't think they understand inches and metrics. Where the blue Curry Tech hose, it won't slide on, so you have to screw it on. So once this is screwed on here, and I'm not going to actually connect this one, but once this is screwed on there, then you've got the small threads on the other end, and this side will thread right into it. And what happens is this piece right here goes inside of your hose, and oops, this piece right here goes inside of your hose. And once this screws all the way down, there's that hose ain't coming off until you unscrew it and you can take it apart. And if you have to cut a piece off of your hose, that's cool. So that's good. And I'm trying to think of something I know what I can do. Bear with me just 1 second, guys. I'm going to do a thing. Yep, I'm going to do a thing. Okay, good. Um, Now we're going to move this over here. There we are. Now while I'm talking, I can see your messages. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't. Oh, wait. No, I got to move it over here. Sorry, my bad. I am so almost there. Still didn't. What the heck? Really? Okay. Close enough. I kind of need that over here. Okay, I did it. Um, Now if you message, I can see it. It's in front of me on a different screen. I can sort of see it. I got it up too high. It's blocked. Here we are. All right. So where was I? Oh yeah. So the size, this, the construction of this guy right here. Dang it. One more thing. Bam, bam. Okay. The construction of this guy here is all brass, and the retaining ring. Most of them have a steel retaining ring because they're typically made for air. Well, ZI Foster decided that that's not good enough, and one of the reasons this is so smooth is because it's got a rubber O-ring for a retaining ring. So these things are kind of pricey, and they go into my hose setup, and they cost, I don't know, like $12, $15 a piece or something like that. And so they're their own thing. We already covered this. Um, Also, hey Alex, can you find me a flathead screwdriver?
Yeah.
We have the CME made in Germany. You probably can't see that, and it probably won't focus on it for you. But these I don't just buy at the homebrew store because the homebrew store wants to sell a cheap Chinese one. The cheap Chinese one, which I don't have any here, unfortunately, the cheap Chinese one has like nylon bushings inside of here. They're kind of garbage. These you can actually rebuild them. You can unscrew the top and take it apart. There's a piece here. There's a spring down below that, and this is what kind of makes everything work. But at the bottom of that screen, that's that's the juiciness right there. Most people won't use this, but that O-ring right there is absolutely necessary to hold and handle for long term the pressure that we use. And not everyone's going to have a problem with these. And so then you just got a straight pass through there. And then the ball bearings inside here. But these are German made and they're super smooth. They're absolutely wonderful. And that rubber O ring on the Chinese ones, that's just a little piece of plastic that goes there. And that usually ends up getting blown out in your when you disconnect under pressure. And I make these things so that you should be able to disconnect under pressure without having any problems. And then, of course, I use an all stainless steel swivel nut. And the reason I do this and buy them separate because I could spend less and buy this piece with the barb already on it. But this barb right here, oops, come back. This barb right here is about twice as long as the one that's already got the barb on it. So it just gives you better holding power. All these things cost extra money. It's just like when you're building a car. Do you want a four cylinder, a V6? You want a V8, a Hemi, supercharged, turbocharged? You know, all these things cost money. The clamps that I use, because I do use clamps instead of crimping them so that it's field serviceable in case you have to real quick change out your hose or cut a piece of hose off and keep your day going. This is a 100% stainless steel clamp. And as you see, it's not like your average worm gear clamp. It's actually got a nut. Whoops, whoops. I can figure this out. It's got a nut and a bolt here. I probably got to come back here to zoom focus. But it's got a nut clamped in there and a bolt. And that ensures that nothing in this setup's going to rust. Now, we're going to actually zoom back out a little bit. That's we call that manual zoom, by the way. And we're going to actually look at hose. So for this, I think, hi, I'm going to bring it down here. Alex is going to stop playing with his phone for a minute. And he's going to, oh, it's trying to follow me. Isn't that adorable? And for a moment, I'm going to put this on. Where is it? Oh, my bad. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to add scene front cam. I thought I had this already ready, but apparently I didn't. So we are going to just really quick this here, that down there, that over here, and put me in the corner. And we're going to adjust the camera to go find Alex. Oh, we're going to unzoom it too. And we're going to come down. And Alex can demonstrate to us the difference in the hoses. Now, Alex had no idea he was actually going to be on stream. So bear with him if he looks tired. First, we have this hose. Now, this is the kind of hose a lot of these guys are giving you when they're selling you a cheaper product and they got a pretty hose and they look great on camera. But Alex, why don't you see how far out you can get that hose to extend? Well, I mean, like, okay, you're not thinking like I'm thinking.
Oh, I was just trying to show how shitty the
Like,
hose is.
yeah, so basically you're gonna have this. Hold
Look, it's tangled
it. Basically, you're gonna have that. Let me adjust him up just a little bit since he's gonna be up here a little bit. All right. So you're gonna have that dragging across your floor, and what happens if you move that chair out of the way? Watch out for your coffee cup. There you go. All right. Now just kind of take that out and just walk with it out into the hallway. Don't unravel it. Remember, you're tinting a car. You're just walking. And look what we got. As he pulls it, that's what he's got going on. And I guess with a decent swivel, that might be okay. But what I find out happens with a hose like that is it ends up becoming like a giant slinky running across your floor. Um, and Shamal says that he likes the stainless steel ball lock connectors. These, oh, I guess I'll show you over here. He likes those better, the stainless ones, because they look better. Currently, I'm out of stock, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but getting things delivered or shipped anywhere is just the world's worst. So that's my worries there. Let's see what else. I have the green hose, which is a little bit better. Now we're not going to drag this across the dirty floor because if any of you guys have ever bought a Flexzilla hose, you know that it lasts about 4.5 seconds before it's dirty. So, whoops. Okay. So this guy, we're going to just demonstrate the how limp it is or isn't. So we're going to flip it over and see it stand like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with this. And we're going to compare it. We're going to compare that one. Actually, I could probably turn this up so you guys can hear us. And if I go Omni, you should be able to hear both of us. We might have a bit of an echo. I'm not sure. But basically, this hose, I actually don't charge you any more than what we charge on the what about that much of your hose out? Give you an idea of the limpness of this hose. It when you put the weight of water in it, these are empty hoses, so water weight's going to make a difference. But when you put the weight of water in it, it just lays flat, lays limp. This hose right here, same comparison. Here to give you an idea. Let me get the This is what you guys are running across your floor with those other kegs, and I'm not talking Joe Blow that's, building them in his living room. There's real companies out there, very popular companies. I'm not going to name any names, but there's very popular companies out there giving you hose like this. And nobody wants that shit in their life. But that's why I have that hose, because I wanted to see what it was all about. That hose is about $10 and could kill somebody. Because if you got people walking around where you're titting a car, and a lot of times that does happen, lawsuits are real. If somebody falls and hurts themselves, you end up losing a lot because you are liable. So that's something that's really important about that. I'm not seeing the. Nope, that didn't help. That was stupid. Okay, we're going to turn this back down a little bit so that I'm not blasting you guys' eardrums out. And let's see, we got a couple of comments, but I'm going to read over here, I think. I don't know. Oh. Nice rug, Tim said.
Yeah, I'm watching you, DW and Corey Case.
Oh, hold on. I gotta block somebody real quick. And add to block list. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Travis Lee said for the inline filters on the keg hose, how important are those since there's a filter in the handle? That's an excellent question. And actually, that's the other thing I do. I use this filter, and you'll notice that there's other people out here selling the ones that have the selling. Hi, Nick. There's other people out here selling the ones that have the barbs already on them. Same thing. The barbs are a lot shorter, so it's not as secure of a connection. And two, the barbs are really brittle, and if you tweak it, bend it, step on it, you end up breaking the barb off. I use a nylon barb. It's got a little bit more flexibility to it because these are fiberglass filled, so they got the extra strength, and you don't want that extra rigidity in plastics. So, but back to your question, Travis. As far as somebody's calling me, this is dumb. Okay, they're not talking to me today. So, as far as the rigidity or the necessity of this, it's not. Don't get me wrong. I love to sell them all day long. I need to sell products and parts. What makes this necessary is if you're running around mobile and you're filling up just anywhere and you don't know the source of your water, you're going to get buildup. And the filter that goes on the tip, which oddly enough, I do not have a tip here, or I mean a sprayer or a filter. But the filter that goes in the tip is relatively small. And so the smaller rug is definitely going to, or rug, I'm sorry, I was reading Tim's message. The smaller filter is definitely going to fill up. And once you fill up the filter and that water's under pressure behind it to force its way through, debris are going to get through that filter. So there's two reasons you might want to use an inline filter. Reason one is if you're constantly just grabbing water from any source and you're not sure how good a water it is, just the extra protection's good. It is a little bit finer filter than the one that goes in the tip. But aside from that, if you're the kind of person that likes to just use it and use it and use it, and maybe 6 months later you're wondering maybe I should clean my keg, then the extra capacity here, actually, Alex left me, so we can switch back to this. But the extra capacity of this one will actually have a whole lot more than the tip. So if you're not really on top of cleaning out your keg and making sure it doesn't get gummy inside, because that gumminess will run down your hose and get to your sprayer. So if you can catch that in the filter before it gets to your tip, because the tip won't the tip filter won't take much of that. I have two Flexilla. I got two Flexilla on my two tanks from Tent Hosilla. I love them. Want to try your setup on my next tank. Well, that's awesome. Now, honestly, there's only two differences that I am aware of. And Jeff doesn't really keep secrets from me. So the only real differences between my setup and Jeff's setup is he crimps his pieces together. He believes it's a more professional look, which is cool, unless you get it damaged in a hose, and then you're down, you're out. You can't use that hose until you get it fixed, unless you get a crimper or spare parts that you can throw a clamp on it or something. There's that. And Jeff uses a 3/8 inch hose where I use a 1/4 inch hose. I've been using pressure sprayers for a long time. And way back when I used to use a pump sprayer, because I didn't like the stiffness or the weight of the hose, I actually used vacuum line for automobiles. And that stuff weighs nothing and it holds next to no water. And I loved it because it wasn't like I was dragging anything around with me at all. And it was limp. But your pump sprayer, you're only going to pump up to about 35 psi. So I didn't have to worry with that hose. Once we get into a spray tank and we're pushing in excess of 100 psi, now we have a little bit of a problem because that hose won't take it. It'll just blow up like a balloon and pop. Nobody likes that. So my mindset is go as small. Oh, am I still blasting out? Am I crackling? my mindset is to go as small and as limp as possible so that it's light as possible. I don't want to be dragging a heavy hose around with me. But that's the only two real differences. He uses a real good hose. He uses the Flexilla because it's a popular hose. Still, it's not the best hose out there, and Jeff also has other options. Me and Jeff talk about this all the time. We both want to get rid of Flexilla hose, but so many people think that that's what they want because it's so popular. Flexilla is a phenomenal branding company, and we actually both spend more money on our other hoses that we don't charge extra money for, just to try to help encourage people to use a better product. My hose is all made in Canada, so we like our Canadian friends, right? Gondine Mitchell. And boy, I got this piece of hair that just, whoops, it's on the wrong side. It needs to go up there some. There we go. Close enough. It's bothering me. But yeah, go Canada. I like, Germany. I like German products. I like Canadian products. I like American products. You look through my website, you'll find almost no Chinese products. I'm not really interested. Don't get me wrong. There's some things I have to buy from China, but I try not to. I prefer Flexilla and hope will connect brass swivel without a problem. Okay, so the brass swivel on the Flexilla is not a problem. We use, and as far as I don't have a brass swivel for the 3/8. For any of Jeff's size hose, you really kind of need to get with Jeff about any parts that connect to that. He's not interested in stepping on my feet. I'm not interested in stepping on his. We're both excited about the products that we carry, and we're not trying to compete with one another. We're trying to each be our own individual self. And I will stand firmly with Jeff builds a great product, and he'll tell you the same thing about me. I will, in a private conversation, tell you the things I don't like about his keg, and I am absolutely sure that he will do the same for me. But publicly, no. But this is just shrink tube. If you buy 3/4 inch shrink tube for the Flexilla hose and you shrink this around the end of it, that'll give it just enough girth, and yes, I said girth, that'll give it just enough girth for this to actually screw on and hold. You can do it without it, but I had a couple of cases early on where the hose popped off on people. And so we decided we needed to add a little bit of something around that hose to make it tighter. And that does the trick, and we don't have that problem anymore. Florida Tinner here, I have to say, love the videos. Let's let everybody read this because it's long. Love the videos. Just bought the red Curry Tech with the ball lock and swivel from you all. Was shocked to see you guys put it together. Oh yeah, that's another thing. If you want to save money, another way on my website, and I don't tell everybody this, if you find it on your own, congratulations. But every one of you guys that are watching right now, if you buy my hose separate and you buy all the components that you want, it'll be less. And my guys have all been instructed that if you buy all the stuff for your hose setup, if you buy a hose, you buy a swivel, you're probably going to get a phone call. But if you buy everything that you need for a hose setup, chances are they're just going to assemble it for you, and you're going to get a out of the box ready to use hose. So that's just something that we do because, I mean, we build thousands of these things. So, yeah, we're... Oh, yeah, and Rick Tolman says he needs to buy one of those fancy tank carts from us. These fancy tank carts are the Scuttle Shuttle. I don't know if you guys saw them or remember seeing them, but that's this guy back here in the background. And... these things are amazing. They're $230, but there is a ton of workmanship that goes into it. And so we'll bring it up here a little bit. It's got the rollerblade wheel, so it rolls really super smooth. 1-inch rods, and I don't remember the thickness of the plates. But it's solid. I mean, technically, you could ride this thing around your shop. Don't do that, though, because if you break it while you're riding it, you're not going to be covered under warranty. Otherwise, Brian has given these things a lifetime warranty. And for a one-time $230 investment, it's an amazing way to roll your keg around. And we're going to have a couple of those at the Tinner Battles and possibly even give one or two away at the Tinner Battles. David said, you got my email right. Scuttle Shuttle arrived intact. Yes, we had to create the shipping. Yes, Dave, I did get that email too. We had to create the boxing packaging. You know, there just isn't a super good way. So as you probably noticed, David, the box is huge. And Tint Bros, thank you for that. I wasn't expecting it. Made my day after a long work day. Heck yeah. Not everyone wants to come home from work to work. We like to come home and chill, and when you can open your box and it's like amazing. It's all ready for me. I can use it tomorrow. That's the best. Tyler says hola. Is that a... I'm not reading correctly. I think it's a Hawaiian term, but just placed another Helios order. Well, that's exciting. This Helios stuff, the word's getting out, and I'm getting a little nervous. And supply chain issues, you know, I mean, I'm already way over double what I did last year with it, and my suppliers are like, hey, can you give us a projection? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never really talked about this stuff. Once they start finding out about it, I project I'm going to do a lot. So just try to keep up with me. What do you recommend running through to clean it? We just empty it, then run clean water through. Travis, so if you're talking about the hose, that's the other difference I didn't even think to mention. But the build of this hose that we use, the blue hose, well, the Curry Tech hose, it's got a lining in it. See that white lining? And that's a silicone-based lining. It's super slick. And I don't care how much gunk you run through it, that gunk will not stick to the inside of this hose. So running clean water through your hose just to make sure you got all the gunk out, that's plenty. Running slip solution through your hose. Alex, they're out there having meltdowns and malfunctions, and I ain't got enough parts. Unless you guys can hold on for just 1 second, I'll be right back. Alrighty. I made it back. How many did I lose? Nobody. Awesome. So on your sprayer, and I just told him put a tip on it. I didn't care which one. He grabbed the easiest one to put together because it's only one piece. When you rinse out your tank, you're gonna want to take here. Let me disappear this for a minute. Okay, so when you rinse out your tank, you're gonna want to take the cap off, take your filter out, and you're gonna want to spray for about, I don't know, a minute, less than a minute, 30 seconds. Just squeeze this and let the water just flow out, and that'll rinse it out. A lot of people don't take this apart and they try to rinse it out, but the thing is, anything that you're rinsing through is going to get caught up by your filter and you're just going to clog your filter. So take that out. It's a great time to clean your filter and then flush it. And you don't have to flush it with clean water. If you clean out your tank and you get fresh slip in there, you can just flush a little bit of fresh slip through there. So that'll make it a little bit easier for you. Um, does the brand hose you use come on a reel? No, it doesn't. Don, I love the reel idea. I think it's very neat and tidy, clean, keeps your stuff off the floor when you're not using it. It keeps it from tangling, all kinds of wonderful stuff. But this company, they make hose and they make a lot of it. The reel I get isn't a retractable reel, it's just a 500-foot spool. And I started for a minute, I was looking for a reel that I can assemble. The problem with that is I have to find a reel with all good parts in it. I can't have aluminum and I can't have steel because water's going to be in it. The bearings need to be rubber O-rings because it needs to maintain that seal because we're using them for water and not air, and it's a whole lot of research, and hoping to get more time to spend on research like that because I think that would be a super hot seller if I could just get it put together. But it's got to be something. I want to give good warranties. I'm not trying to just sell products. I'm not buying a bunch of products from China and marking them way up and making profits. I'm trying to take care of tinners here, and unfortunately, yeah. So David, put your damn scuttle shuttle together. He says he hasn't put it together. The only thing you have to put together on your scuttle shuttle is you got to put the wheels on. That's it. Do it. At what point will the pressure relief valve activate on your tire chuck lid setup? 110 psi. That's for Roy McAvoy. Did I say that right? I hope so. The MC names, they sometimes can be tricky. I always run alcohol through my tanks and hoses. Haven't changed either in 10 years. Nice. You're careful with your hoses. Man, I'm abusive with my hoses. I like to change them every year, year and a half. But I change them because they're nasty, not because they fail. And I always run. Okay, got that one already. Oh, you got to get blocked and you got to go too. Wait, if pole is supposed to be connected or it's broken. No, the pole is it slides in, slides out. It's removable. Uh, Brian used to ship them in two separate boxes, but we found that less efficient than putting them in one giant box. So yeah, there's a hole in the top part of the. Well, here, let's do this. Grab me that scuttle shuttle. You can dump the wheels off of it. Just dump the wheels off of it and bring me the damn scuttle shuttle. All right. Need a spot. So this is what you'd be talking about. This is your pole, goes all the way up to the handle and the holder, and at the bottom it comes out, and it's as you can see it's beveled on the bottom, so you can slide it right back into that hole, and that way if you need to pack it up to haul it or whatever, it's not locked on there for good. So that's that, and purchase extra hose thinking it will get bad, not nasty. And that do it is not fixed. Absolutely. So the only thing that you want to, if you want to put any kind of chemicals through the sprayer, like acid wheel cleaners, acidic things primarily, get with me first. I'll get you. You want things with Viton seals because that's going to hold up. The rubber seals and what we use, they'll hold up to regular soaps, shampoos, tire dressings, O&R rinseless car wash stuff, but acids and acidic products like that, they won't. But we can get you set up with what you need. And my hoses will hold up to that too because of that liner on the inside will withstand all kinds of chemicals you can put through it. And yeah. And Scott said, thanks for getting my order out quickly. We did get your order out quickly. And we got things going on outside. Maybe we should, you know what we should do? Security, security, security. We should just turn the security cams on behind me. That's what we'll do. And then you can take this little guy here. You can just double click that one. All right. Now you guys can see outside my shop. Because that's important. That's Wyandotte. Who calling me from Wyandotte? Is that you guys got Dom's order filled? Wow. You guys rock. I need water. So,
The snow's gone, Scott.
huh?
The snow's gone now, Scott.
Got no snow, Scott. See the sun shining out there? Yes, it is sun shining and 37 degrees. No more snow. Yes, I said 37 degrees for all those of you that's down lower. It is finally starting to warm up. You know, and Tyler and Dom, they just live across state from me, and they understand what I'm about to say. But the other day, the low was only getting down to like 29, and I was so relieved. I'm like, oh, finally, because we've been getting stupid cold at night, and waking up in the morning, and it's just bitter. But it's over. Oh, that left-handed sticky icky. I don't even know what that means. I've been out of this way too long. The weekend we're supposed to get more time in our day. Oh yeah. Don't forget Saturday night before you go to bed. Turn your clocks forward. Otherwise, who knows when you're going to get to it. You'll just adjust your mind and you know. Been way too damn cold. Yes, it has. All right. And so another thing, like I was talking about, is Tim still here? Tim, are you still here? He says something about his child may come home. In which case, there it is. Tim, where's Tim in here? Is Tim in here?
He said yeah.
I can figure out how to do this. Give me just 2 seconds. Here. I'll go into here. I think I'll go into there. I'm using a lot of bandwidth, so you know. If I can find him in here. I should have him on speed dial now. He's my new favorite.
Hear that, Dominic? You're fired.
Every day I get new favorites. I gotta learn how to look people up. How come when I type T-Town, Joe comes up? That's weird. I'll have to remember that next time I'm looking for him. All right. So I don't know if Tim's going to be available, but I am going to send him a message with a link because if he is available, he just got done printing all our new dash towels. And I want you guys to see how these look. They're freaking amazing. So he says we're all good. He hopes we're going to try. You know, we do all this stuff live without testing because it's just way more interesting, right? Oh, yeah. And the other thing that I didn't tell you guys a lot about so drilling these holes in the lids to do, you know, we do thousands of these a year. And to do just one hole in one of these stainless steel lids probably isn't a big deal. But we buy these, and these suckers, 11/16 hole, is made to cut steel, and they cost $45 a piece. Sometimes we get 8 lids out of them, which is very discouraging. Sometimes we get 100 lids out of one. And so, yeah, it's definitely one of the hidden expenses that you wouldn't think about. But basically, if I only get 10 lids out of one, it just costed me $4.50 for each lid to drill it. And that's before paying those guys. Still torching away. Thanks for changing my mind. Absolutely love it. Thanks, Rick. Well, heck yeah. And that's the other thing. There's a bunch of us veteran type people that's going to be at the Tinner Battles, and there's going to be a workshop. There's going to be a PPF workshop in one building and a tent workshop in the other building. So if you are going to the Tinner Battles and you got anything you struggle with, I'm going to be at the tent workshop. I'm not, on the list of people going to be there, because I'm not famous enough or whatever, but I am going to be there and interested in helping every and anybody that Mike could use a technique or a trick or whatever. Phone's acting up. Corey's phone? Oh, sorry. Sorry for that, Corey. Fix your phone. Tim is on. I see Tim over there in the background. He could probably even hear me. Let me turn Tim on. There
I
he
can hear
is.
you. Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's
I'm
the
trying
thing.
to
Oh, yeah.
trying to figure out why I have an echo, but I think it's because YouTube is still up.
It could be that, or it could be because, let's see here. Say something. There we go. Now if you speak. Oh, and the other thing you got to do, Tim, is go into settings. You're going to want to go into settings and click video, and it's on standard
Technology,
resolution.
right?
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't understand why they default to that, other than, yeah. Well, it's going to be exciting seeing you there, Dom, since you don't get down here during
You sound like a
Tool
chip.
Talk
You
enough.
sound like a chipmunk on my side.
I do?
Yeah, on my side.
Have I been sounding like this the whole time?
No.
Well, that's good.
Dude, what is going on?
Maybe I changed something. Maybe I do sound like a chipmunk. Let me look.
Can you hear me?
I can.
I'm going to back out and come back in.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have a voice changer, so when you said I sounded like a chipmunk, I was a little concerned.
Oh, cigarette. I'll smoke a cigarette. Look at that. I've been streaming for an hour and hadn't smoked a cigarette yet. Aren't you guys proud of me? Baby steps, guys. Baby steps. Oh. Yeah, that's the edge of my desk. Okay. Oh, you come back in.
Okay, can you hear
Are
me?
y'all better now? I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I
can.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was figuring. Let's just back out and figure that out. Hi, guys.
All right.
And I actually can hear you now since I have headphones.
That part's important too.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
otherwise
before
it
we
gets a
would do
little
that, it
confusing.
never. Yeah, no, it never worked. It never worked like that for sure. But yes, got all the towels done for you, and
Got the towels done, guys. I'm so excited. Oh, you
upside
printed
down.
them upside down
Good thing I could turn it over, huh?
and inside out. Oh, there we go. Oh, jeez, I was getting nervous. I was getting super nervous.
And crooked, right?
I hope it's not crooked.
No, I'm crooked.
Oh,
That the gray one you sent me though is a lot more plush than this though. You didn't know that.
is it?
Yeah.
God, it's from the same company.
Like this has less like flattened down fibers. The other ones you can tell where the fibers are at for sure.
Oh,
It was very odd.
Well,
No,
yeah, I'm gonna
no,
get
it still works, but you said you just changed the color of it?
of the towel. Yeah, I was getting the dark gray ones, and then I realized there was a light gray option, and I'm like, well, let's do that.
Gotcha.
So,
What how long have you been out of these for? For a while or no?
yeah, at least a month, maybe longer. But that's the other thing Alex wanted to talk about here. We can do that. Bam. There we go. Oh, look, it's my lunchroom. Why is my lunchroom on the screen? Tech room. Oh, they're boxing up film. Look at them
There you
go.
go.
There's
I
my
just got a
front
bunch
counter.
of film in.
There's UPS guys outside my door.
He's been there since I came on the string the first time.
That's hilarious. Because I got a big parking lot. They like to meet up and swap packages and stuff. I make
Yeah, I've
them
seen
wait
that a few
until.
times.
Here we go.
What do you wait?
That-
5:30?
Yeah, I make them wait until 5:30. My cutoff is 5 o'clock, so I allow them to show up at 5 o'clock. But they do understand that if they show up at 5 o'clock and we got orders, like they're out there boxing film right now probably for Dom and Ty, and so he's gonna wait for us to get the rest of the orders done. But we do a 5 o'clock cutoff because that way it gives us from 5 to 5:30 to get everything all boxed up because I like to ship things same day. And I just won my battle. I don't know how UPS, their charts and everything, but I made them go back to the drawing board so many times. I've been having this fight over shipping rates. I just signed a new contract today to get these new amazing shipping rates as long as I keep doing the volume or more that I've been doing. They are going to give me up to, I believe, 67% off or something like that per package from the retail cost. So that should, which that doesn't mean anything to my customers now because they either pay $10 if they're under $50 or over $50 is free. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something because I just placed a big tent order, and I realized that after I put it in there and I grabbed one of my old boxes or another box, I'm like, oh, I missed the box that I should have ordered.
Well,
So
if you order one roll of film from me, it qualifies for free shipping. Just saying.
no, for sure, it definitely does. But I see Steven, he asked if what is it, red cape? Is that red cape or Dickie shirt?
Red cap or
I've never
Dickie
heard of red
shirts.
cape. You ever heard
Maybe
of
it's
what's
red.
red cape?
I don't know.
Obviously, I know what a Dickie shirt is, but I can source most of all of that stuff. Not sure exactly what you want to put on it, but yeah. So I got the embroidery machine, heat press, which I was getting ready to press a shirt. Maybe you guys can press a shirt real quick. Same,
Oh yeah.
wow, same process as I did with the towels. Here's my printer. Live demonstration.
Live demonstration. Look at this. Tim's doing it. He's multitasking.
I was trying to do it before we went live. But this is a sublimation process where it turns into the heat turns it in from a liquid to gas, and the gas goes into the polyester into the shirt. But it only can go on light colors, as we know. It goes on white, and this is a gray. Problem with this is a nice polyester shirt that I think they went away with or something because they don't have many sizes.
Oh, well, it could also just be product shortages. It's rampant.
Now
Look
it's
at
on a shirt,
that.
but it's in there, It's in it.
It's no longer a print. It's a part of the shirt.
Yep. Turn that off.
But you can't print white, so the lighter color shirts work way better for that.
Yeah. So, and printing black. If you print black on like this or something on red or white or even neon green, if you had a black solid logo, it comes through like this one. I've given this shirt away before with you guys. It's just keep on 10. You know, that's blue and black, so it shows up. You just got to remember that it doesn't print white. So anything that's white is going to be the color of the shirt.
You want the color of the print to be as much darker as the color of the shirt as you can get. So obviously white's your best choice, and then from there, so like your yellows, oranges, things like that, those are probably good. Any of your brighter colors like our blue is a nice bright color. Print shows up on that really well. But if there's a lot of white detail in the print, then that's not good.
Nope, it's just a shirt.
But don't use
But
a
that's
lot
all
of
right.
white detail. Don't use a lot of white detail in your stuff, because you're paying for that white, and nobody does anything with white.
Yeah.
Now, is there a printer that prints white for what you're doing?
Yeah, they have a white toner transfer. So it's what that one is like a 2-step process. So it prints it out on a piece of paper, but then you got to put it on a heat press, and there's a transfer paper that you got to press it on another piece of paper, and now it's ready to go on. Now it's ready to go onto the shirt like a transfer. So it's double the work, but
Sounds
yes, white toner.
expensive.
They are, but the company that I do for my embroidery machine, they have a really nice one. And I think they have a bundle kit for like $3,000. So it's not. I mean, $3,000 is a lot of money, but for
Any
a
way you
printer,
slice
that's
it, it's $3,000.
yeah.
So
But that my heat press over there was heat press was $2,500. But as
and
I worked with when I worked with an $800 press for the longest time, and I was getting
right,
multiple school orders and all that type of stuff, and the function of this, it just made sense to get something that everybody steers towards and works out the best. So that's another
yeah,
reason
for
I
sure.
got that press. So the next step up from that would be it's called an Air Fusion, which a double one would have 2 of them, and one top platen, but 2 on the bottom ones, and it's one side by side with each other, and you load the shirt up, hit the buttons, goes down, load the other shirt up. When that one's done, it lifts up and slides over on its own. Push the button, goes down, and you do what you need to do, and just keep going back and forth.
Oh, okay.
So,
And that hat you're wearing, you embroidered that?
yep,
Look at
I did
that.
this. That's puff too. So
It is
that's
fluffy.
puff. So, yep. And then I just did this for Down for the Ride. They do
Oh, nice.
it's a nonprofit charity for Down syndrome, and then embroidered on the back. This ain't puff. This is just embroidered in the hat. So, yeah, really nice stuff. So, and then those stocking caps.
That's super cool.
Yeah, just getting ready to get real busy.
I might need to talk to you a little bit about doing a bunch of hats for the Tinner Battles if you got time in your next few days.
Yeah.
And
well,
if you got hats.
Well, do I have the right hat is the question. But I mean I have hats, right? Do I have the right hat for you is the question. Obviously, you probably want red, huh? Red, or it would have to be red and black, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, red or black would probably be, or red and black. If I don't know, what do you got? You got either of those?
I typically have red and black, but the hockey group I'm with, they use a lot of them. Oh, I do. Yeah. Like these are snapbacks, so all the fancy. Yeah, this is a snapback, right?
We like the
so
fancy.
this is exactly like the Richardson hats. Exactly like the Richardson hats. Everybody, I don't know. I could put Richardson and this side by side with each other, and they look the same. They feel the same on your head. Obviously it's a Chinese knockoff, probably, but I mean,
Well,
These are probably
And
one of my
Richard,
favorites. Is these ones? These are probably one of my favorites.
well, even well with the blue, no, not so much, but yeah,
I got
we should
black and
discuss something.
I got black and gray. These are all fitted
Oh,
though,
that
so and
those sound expensive.
no, not really. I mean, yeah, if you want to resell them, you got to buy enough of them. But or you got camouflage. These are the new ones that I just picked up. Camouflage.
Oh, that's badass.
Yep, I'm doing a spirit wear order for. So I'm a softball coach too for my daughter's 8U thing. So I do all the spirit wear for them. So I
Okay.
just put the order form out. So that's like I don't know. I think there's 8 or 10 teams, at least 12 girls on a team. So hoping for a really big order. I think last year was like I don't know, $2,500 or so, but this year hopefully there's a little bit more because it was COVID time. So
Looks like Cash is gonna need some polo shirts done. I might want to get some polo shirts done too. I normally I prefer polo shirts, and I prefer polo shirts with a pocket. I know this is a t-shirt and this is
no,
I don't
let's say, do they have polo shirts with pockets? I guess I never really
yes.
thought about
Well,
it.
at least Carhartt does. But no, all the shirts that we got made last time, none of them had pockets. I'm like, really? So I've gotten pretty used to not putting my cigarettes in my shirt pocket because I don't ever have a shirt pocket anymore. And now when I do have a pocket, I don't even think about it. And these shirts, the pocket is so small, I put cigarettes in them and they pop out, when I'm doing stuff. So I don't know. I ain't even used to that anymore. So
I do know that just let everybody know with embroidery. So basically, I don't digitize it, and even if I did digitize it, there's a fee for that. So what happens is you got to get it digitized. So you give me the vector art, and realistically, if you have an okay JPEG picture that you may have snapped off or whatever, my digitizing people can typically do a pretty good digitizing. So it typically costs, for a left chest logo or a hat logo, typically costs about $20. So the digitizer cost me about $15, and then I charge $5 to do a test stitch out. Because if I don't do a test stitch out and I put it on a polo and it's bad, that's a problem. So,
especially if you run off like 20 of them, 50 of them.
well, you realize it. So like this is one of the ones I had digitized, and I'm having some problems because of the outlines that go on the feet back there. So this is like the third time I've sent this logo back to this lady because it's just not coming out good. So, but yeah, I tested out on that type of material and make sure it's gonna stitch out good, and that's the extra $5 to get it digitized or to get it stitched out.
For sure.
So, you know, embroidery is totally different. But I could tell everybody I said that digitizing fee. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, it says, "Oops, something went wrong." So that's what I was wondering.
Oh,
Okay, that's good.
oops.
But yeah, so once you get that digitized, whatever that size stays, if it's for a shirt or for a hat, you only pay that one time. So, and then if you ever want to do a buyout for that logo, obviously, it's a little bit more because you're going to go take that logo to somebody else that I took my time and my resources and everything. So that's something that I don't know people ever do, but that's something I'm like, yes, it's your logo, but I'd rather if you want to buy out and go somewhere else, then you can buy the logo out, and I have it on file. So
There you go. Yeah, it looks like Cash
big
needs a
size.
hundred shirts. He's like, hey,
Yep.
can you see the
I'm
chat?
ready. I can see the chat. Yep.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably talk to you about maybe some shirts or hats or something. I want to give something. Well, I got a lot of tank stuff that's gonna be going out at the Tinner Battles, but tanks are expensive, so you don't give as many away, and I'd like for everybody to get. There's just a lot, and it'd be cool to have something with a little Sun Distributing logo with the, I mean, I dug deep and sponsored this year, so why not?
What's up, Tim Pro? Yeah, for sure.
What's
I didn't even
poppin'?
was it pretty expensive to do it? Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts to something like this, and everything costs a lot of money. And you know, like last year, Carlos didn't collect enough to cover the event. He just covered it out of his pocket, and it's looking the same way this year. And I'm like, hey, I'll dip in a little bit, and because all this stuff that he does is expensive. These things, there's so much behind the scenes stuff that nobody would even realize, until you sat there and started looking at picking it apart piece by piece and looking at every little thing, and then it's like, wow, just never
Yeah, for sure.
realized. And of course, everybody wants to wait until the last minute, and then they're like, hey, I want this or I need that, and can you do this? And
Yeah,
I've been,
I get that. I get that a lot for sure. I get that a lot. The one pro shop I work with, he'd be like, "Hey, I need this right now." I'm like, "Okay." So, yeah.
gladly.
Well, there was a basketball team that I did, and they were like, "Hey, I need it in a week." I'm like, "Well, guess what? There's a rush fee. I'm gonna charge them a rush fee." And
Well,
basically,
my
it just
printer,
covered what it basically covered was me ordering the prints and did it overnight instead of letting the shipping to do it. That's what I did.
yeah, for
That's what
sure. I
takes the
mean,
longest
my
for me because I do it prints. So
my printer does the same thing to me. I mean, if I'm patient, and they're really quick turnaround. One day for the print, one day for shipping. They're local, so and I can actually go pick it up if I want to. So I mean, I can order my stuff today and pick it up tomorrow. But who's got time for that? Going back to the, what should you spend your money on? And your time is probably the most valuable part of your whole operation. And a lot of people don't realize that. They would rather spend an hour to save $5. But what do you make in an hour? I mean, if you're not busy, if you got nothing to do, then okay, if you got the time. But when you start getting busy and you have a lot to do, you got to put your most valuable thing in front, and that's your time. So if you have to pay an extra whatever for shipping or things like that, then it's worth it. Or like some of these companies that do that to you, they're like, well, I need it. I need it tomorrow. And you're like, oh, okay, that's going to cost this much. And for them, the time is more valuable than the cost of the expediting it. And other thing too, I sell half rolls of my carbon and my ceramic in 40-inch and 60-inch. And I have a lot of customers that will,
Jay Bird.
I have customers that'll buy several, or frequently buy half rolls. And there's a $20 charge when you buy a half roll. I mean, it costs me almost $9 for the core to put it on. And I don't know, just a couple dollars each for the end caps, $5 or $6 for the box. There's $25 worth of or $20 worth of stuff, and you take in that half a roll, and in a week you order another half a roll, and it's another $20 upcharge. I didn't make $20 off of you. The box company and the plastic company and all them people, they made the $20 off of you, but that's $40 a roll extra you're spending for window film by buying,
So I don't know if this
and
would save you. Back in the day when I worked, I put Lumar on for a long time. 44 Tools was my distributor for the longest time, and
mhm,
they basically said save all your rolls when you have enough of them, put them in a box or whatever, and ship them back to me, and I'll credit you $1 or whatever it was. Because my rolls, they just go in the recycle bin and they go out.
yeah.
I don't know if that's even worth shipping them back to you or whatever, and
It
giving
kind of
money back
is
to
if there's
somebody.
enough, but the size of the box that you'd have to ship it in, the shipping cost is a lot. It'd still save money in the long run, but the hassle, and that boils back down to the time and energy spent, especially for someone like us. We're a small operation, so we have to divide our time wisely. I'm really surprised. We're on about 6 months now doing this tool talk every Tuesday. Every Tuesday I devote 2 hours to tool talk, and I didn't know if I could, and I'm like, the only way to know if you can is do. And so for that 2 hours I just put more on those guys' plates, because hopefully,
Yeah,
but
no, that's how I am right now, especially with tint. I'm picking up in tint, so obviously I make a lot more money tinting windows than I do my t-shirt brand, and I will be the first to tell you that embroidery takes a lot of time, and if you have to sit there, this hat takes about, I think this hat took about 12 minutes to stitch out. So you can't do anything in between 12 minutes, and you kind of have to watch the machine, because if the bobbin underneath runs out, the string break or the thread breaks. I mean, I can't just put a hat
yeah,
on and go out and tint a car and do whatever. So
yeah, let
I
me
have to
start this hat
dedicate
and go
my
tint
time.
that window, and then come back and start another hat and go tint another window, and
So
come
basically,
back
what I've been
and
trying to basically what I've been doing is in the mornings I've been scheduling my tint jobs, and then in the afternoon I've been in here. And if somebody's like, "Hey, I have to have a 3 o'clock tint job," then I'm like, "Okay," So
I have to
you have to
adjust this
dedicate your
day.
time.
Well, the nice thing about the t-shirts, though, it is good fill-in work. As long as you don't have those guys that need it by tomorrow kind of stuff, and you can, in between jobs or around jobs, you could squeeze it in when you have the extra time to get a few of this or a couple of that done. But yeah, 12 minutes a hat, that's huge.
That's
That's
that's a low stitch count. That's why. That's a low stitch count. Like I did this hat, I did this logo on the hat, and this hat probably takes about 20 minutes to stitch out.
oh wow.
You know, and Jaybird asked if I use Tintac, so I've been using Tintac since I've started tinting on my own, and no, I have no buildup, and no, but I also use distilled water, and I use the same amount of soap every single time. So, but no buildup, nothing in my top filter, nothing in my tank. To be honest with you, in my tank, I don't even clean my tank out like that. I look in there. If it looks clean, I just put a next gallon
Yep.
distilled water in there, and I don't change my water every single day. I may not tint every day either. I will shake it up and put some air in it.
I
I've
use
never been one of those. I've never been one of those to change the tank when I was full just because I didn't tint for 2 days. Does that make me a horrible tinter? I don't know, but I never had a problem.
Yeah, yeah, you're a hack. You're a hack. Somebody's gonna call you a hack. But yeah, what hose do you use? Do you have the blue hose?
No, I got the green ones, and I
Oh,
have and I have the gray one. I got the gray one with the tint whiz. I got the gray one with the tint whiz giveaway that I won on the show with Eric, and then I bought that one with the green hose, and then I
okay,
bought a second dip tube with another green hose. So I got 3 hoses,
okay.
but obviously I only need two for each side. But
So do you use one tank and just run the hoses off to each
I
side?
did when I first started. I bought that extra dip tube because they were out for a while, but I bought that extra dip tube. The problem is I want to keep that hose on the other side when I want to switch cars out, and I don't want to run over the hose. I don't want to bring it all the way to the other side, and so yes, I have my branded tank that has a double thing. If I was going to want a flat glass job, I'd probably take that one. And if I had two people, I would run off of one tank. That's what I would
Absolutely.
do. Or if I had different rooms, I had 3 people tinting with me, or 2 people, 2 different rooms, 2 people tinting in a different room. Yeah, take the other one. But you are right. I definitely don't need the goddamn 5 gallon tank. I probably could have went with 3. I
Yeah,
always use a 5 gallon, so
over at my shop, we're running 2 5 gallons, and man, those guys blow through uh, slip solution, because he'll my son will fill up both tanks every morning, and usually he just tops them off. But after a while, you kind of gotta rinse them and flush them and clean them, and it's like, you know how much you use, you know how much you have to put in every day. Just put about that much in every day, and you'll have a fresh, brand new tank every day. Because some days
But that's why I
he'll
use
be,
that's why I use distilled water. That's why I use distilled water because it doesn't matter if I needed one. I only put 2 gallons of water in usually at a time. I just there's just no reason for anything more. I get more pressure. It lasts longer. The pressure lasts longer, and
oh yeah, for sure. And that's another thing, a lot of people with 5 gallon kegs, and I've always ran around with a 3 gallon keg, but I don't fill it all the way up. I gauge the job because water is weight, and with a 5 gallon keg, you're carrying around a 45-pound tank. Nobody wants to carry 45 pounds of water around with them when they're just going to do a few windows. And but you can put a gallon or 2 gallons of water in it, and it weighs like as much as a 3 gallon tank, and you have the ability to go extra if you need to. But that's a hard thing to wrap your head around unless you use distilled water, because then you know how much water you're putting in, and it makes more sense to you when
and
you're
then to be
coming
honest
out of
with you,
the.
and I was thinking about it earlier. Like I mean, I guess if you even if you wanted to use the filter, the Tint Wiz 3000, which I got, that's pretty dang sweet. But uh, and I've used that RV filter thing for the longest time. But even if you use that, even if you had a gallon of water and the empty gallon of water, and you always just kept refilling that gallon of water, and you always put the same amount of slip in it. I mean, it's just consistent instead of
Yeah,
pouring that in there. Now you're like, oh, I put too much in.
we run a filter. Uh, we've got a big cartridge filter that we run into a siphon pump that we adjust to the amount of slip that we want, and then we fill the kegs up from that. So we don't. It's been years since I've or any of us have had to measure the amount of slip that we're putting in. We just go over to the machine and plug it in, and it fills up the tank, and it's mixed, and that's something that got put on the back burner that I started, and I need to get back to it. But I had a little bit of sticker shock. I mean, the unit all assembled and ready to go was going to be like $1,000, but you hook it to your plumbing and you run, and you put your jug of slip solution, whatever you use, under it. You dial it into the mixture you like, and it's that mixture forever, and until your bottle runs out of slip, your gallon runs out, then you don't run out of slip ever. We even hooked a sprayer to it with a hose reel, and that works nice, but it's way off over there in the corner by the sink, and nobody walks over there to grab it. So every time I do flat glass, I'll go over there and I'll fill up my tank and everything, and I'll flush that coil hose up, or the cord hose reel up, out, because nobody uses it, and it'll sit there for weeks. If I don't do a job for weeks, it'll sit there for weeks and just let the water get yucky in it, and then it smells bad.
I've definitely smelled them, but I didn't know before you started these things. I didn't know it was bad to put bleach in your tank. I always put bleach in my tank.
Oh yeah, bleach and stainless steel don't get along very well, and it'll
That
put
was the
the
best thing to
stainless.
clean out the hose, though, in my opinion. But I will never use bleach again.
Well, the green hose, the Flexilla hose, and the Curry Tech hose, they both have that silicone liner, and nothing sticks to it. You can let that shit sit in there for a year, and you can cut that hose open, and it'll still be clean. It's
Well, I always
crazy.
went to Home Depot and bought the 1/4 inch blue hose that's for air hoses, and cut it and put it on top of it, and that's what I
Hmm.
used for the longest time. And then when the hose looked dirty or started to get color faded, I changed it out. So,
Yeah,
but
for a long time I used the clear stuff so that I could see my water. But since I've been building kegs, I started learning a little bit more about the makeup of the hose and how that contributes to problems. And so now I'm like fanatical about it. It's got to have, if it doesn't have that silicone liner in it, I'm not even interested. And the gray hose that you got has a black silicone liner in it, which you'll notice that's probably about as stiff as the Flexilla hose, maybe just a little bit more stiff because it's a little bit thicker of a hose. But that's why we switched over to this other stuff. And in the gray hose, I can't get the gray hose in this Tundra line that we got here. I get the gray hose in the Poly Air line, which is still made for water and still has the same design. It's just a stiffer hose, but not by much.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really used the gray hose much. It just hangs up in the corner. I don't know. Well, green's my t-shirt company, so I like the green, you know.
Yeah,
So
well, okay. And that does make
I guess
sense. And
I guess if I would have thought if I knew that the blue hose was better than the green hose, with my my tent business being blue, I probably would have went with the blue hoses. But I thought the green hoses were going to be better than the blue. That's
well, Flexilla, they market better than anybody. They're everywhere. You see them everywhere. People talk about them. They look super cool coming out of the box. They're hard to keep clean, but that I'm not saying that the blue hose is super easy to clean. If you clean it on a regular basis, you can keep it clean for a long, long time. Where over the course of time, I'm assuming your green hoses probably have a little bit of a old banana color to it.
it sure does.
The blue hose doesn't quite do that. So, but it will if you don't clean it on a regular basis. It still does get grungy and nasty looking, but it is a lot easier to clean. So there is that
Yeah,
for sure.
I do clean it every once. Like if I'm cleaning towels or something, like my microfibers, I'll spray some alcohol on it and wipe the hose down. Or if I was in a big mud show, or like I did these semi trucks, I went to the semi truck place when I got back because I made sure I cleaned my hoses off because I know they were, they're not my tin floor. So
Yeah.
random shop.
Metro Gonzalez says that he feels like all type lasts a while on his tank. We use all type and it does really well. It doesn't stay gunk free 100%. If you're neglectful, it will gunk up a little bit over the course of time, but it is really good. And the tint tack, it's just not as easy to get because there's one supplier with it, and if you don't buy from that supplier, you don't get it. And but he also says that I love this. I put 3.5 ounces of slip in a baby bottle and drop it in my tank. Makes it easy to know how much he uses. And I've been looking, and actually I was talking to you about it last week, looking for a measuring cup, and oh my god, baby bottles have frickin' measurements on them. I didn't even think
Really?
about that. Yeah, you got to know how much you're feeding your newborn. That's
Oh,
frickin'
baby
perfect.
bottles. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and they have
frickin'
real lids
amazing.
for them.
Yeah. Well, for this you don't need a lid because you just leave it in your keg.
Oh yeah.
And you just and that way every time you go to fill up, it's still in your keg. So if
I'll,
you
I'll
know
tell
that,
you what I tell you what frustrates me, and we've talked about this before, is sometimes when I take out, the quick connects, and I have the stainless steel ones on ball bearing, or what was it, ball bearing or
ball lock.
ball lock, and I have those, and if I take it off sometimes, I will have spitting and sputtering for a while until for some godly reason it I don't know, it just stops. And I could have just filled the tank up too.
On the keg itself spits and sputters or on the
No, on the sprayer.
oh.
And
Oh, you're talking about air.
yeah, oh yeah, yep. And it's like it's squirting soap like it's the end of the tank. And I just filled it up.
So that I mean, yeah, we've talked about that and there's a few different things that could be causing that and
And I've tightened up the fittings. I think the one time I tightened up the fitting, but the last time it didn't work. But all of a sudden it worked. All of a sudden it just stopped. So I was like, don't touch
huh.
it.
Could be that you ran low on water or something. I mean, if your tank tips over and you keep spraying, there's a lot of water in your line, so it'll run a lot of air in there. And if you had a lot of air in there at one time, it could take a little while for it to flush out. And I'm not sure. I know at one point I got a batch of dip tubes that was actually a little bit shorter than the original. So I don't know. You might have got one of those, and if you spray out of a, it's getting down low enough and it's just running out, then it'll suck air in while you're not even out of. But that ain't a problem anymore. I did just get another batch of 3-gallon dip tubes that were too short, but we caught that right away, and we're like, hey, you're gonna need to replace these. These ain't right. And they're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was one thing that I did do. I opened up the tank and I tried it because that's the tank. That tank is the one that has both tubes in it. So I was thinking like maybe that when I put the new tube in, it just didn't sit in the dip down there, but it sits down there. I don't know. Maybe I do have a short one, but it only does it every once in a while though. So, but
Well, when you look down there, you'll see if one's higher off the bottom than the other. But I'm guessing you don't typically do you run your tanks empty?
no, I don't think I've ever ran these tanks empty. Back in the day, I used to, but none these ones I don't. Because
Ever-
I mean, I guess I pick them up, but yeah, like I usually shake
Necessary.
them. I usually shake them up in the morning, especially if I know I have it tinted in the day, or say I tinted on Saturday. I didn't do it. I would shake them up on Monday. I try to shake them
And
up every day.
that's another thing people can learn from too, is shaking your tanks, because that buildup is really just the solution that you're using settling, and some stays mixed better and
Vinny.
some settles better. And if you shake it every day, then if you have a short one, don't tell anyone. If you if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it. But
I was thinking
yeah,
the
if
same
you
thing
shake
too.
if you shake your tank every day, that's definitely something that you might want to throw into your regimen, because it's going to keep your slip lasting longer. Some of us
Yeah,
will
it's
just
not
grab
gonna
the hose and start tinting,
stay.
and after a couple of days, we're like, everything's sticking. It's just not as slippery. Well, your stuff's all stuck to the sides of the tank, and if you shake it now, you're going to have floaties, and so that's a good point too. Yep. Now I got to see if I can't get some fucking Tint Keg Brandon baby bottles. I'm all over that option. Because I can't find any branded measuring cups. I can find measuring cups that I can get branded. That's not a problem. The problem is I need a measuring cup that'll fit inside the tank, through the lid. And I don't need a 8-ounce or a 10-ounce or a 12-ounce measuring cup. I need maybe a 4-ounce or even a 6-ounce, but that's it. And none of these companies that want to do this want to deal with anything smaller than a full-size measuring cup, and I'm not about that. Damn it, I'm specialty.
Yeah, I wonder if somebody with a laser would be able to etch something into it, or if
Actually, that's not a bad idea,
like the
because
people that have the glow forges and that type of thing, or how they like the tintless cups. That's what it is. Basically, a laser that cuts out the word tintwiz out of it. Basically,
yeah, and plastic's really easy, so I mean, I don't think it would be real expensive. Everything that I ever want to laser etch is stainless, and those laser machines are fucking expensive, like $8,000 expensive. And all I want to do is put the Tint Keg logo on a couple of parts and maybe engrave some names in red dots. But there's people out there for that now, so I don't have to worry about that part. But I still want to frickin' brand some of my parts.
before I bought this embroidery machine, I was gonna buy the Glowforge, and I was approved. I was approved to buy the Glowforge, and the Glowforge that's what it is. I can put my laptop in and it etches and all that type of stuff. I was approved for it, and I went to go put the down payment down, and it said it was failing. I'm like, I have it like it's ready to go, whatever, and nothing went through. Because I was using a payment plan and it wasn't accepted. And I bought one of my printers. I bought through that same service, and I paid it off, all other stuff, and I was approved for it. I just had to pay the down payment, and it wouldn't accept one of my credit cards. I used multiple credit cards, and it didn't work. A couple of weeks later, I bought that.
It's like fine. I wanted to embroider shit anyway.
which this is a better deal, anyways, because this is 0% financing. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
the other one, there wasn't. I was paying $1,500 extra for something that cost $5,000. This, I'm just going to pay long.
So that's another thing that a lot of a lot of the tinners and stuff out there talking about wanting to buy a plotter or this or that, and I see this a lot. People are like, I got like $1,000 or I got $1,500. What's a good plotter to buy? Don't do that. I mean, you can buy a lesser expensive plotter, but there are programs out there that will finance you a plotter for zero interest. And the neat thing about it is, like, actually, I didn't pay zero interest. I paid a real low interest rate when I bought my Graphtec, but that was a $6,000 plotter, and it had it's a FC 8600 160 or whatever, and the Big Daddy, and I think it was like $120 a month or something like that for 3 years, or maybe 140. I don't know, but it's paid off, and it was cool. And the other cool thing about it is you can get a company because it's collateral. They'll finance you for it because if you don't pay for it, they'll come get it. And the other cool thing about it is it goes towards your business credit. Your business credit and your personal credit is two different things, and business credit's hard to build. And these are little things that could benefit you in the future. If you want to buy a piece of equipment, you're like, it's too much out of my reach, or you decide you want to start printing large format and doing commercial wraps or something, and you're like, it's too far out of my reach. No, talk to a sign company. Talk to a company. A lot of them have finance programs that are stupid affordable. The interest rate is super low or sometimes zero, and it's just like the plotter, let's say it was $140 a month. That's way less than a vehicle. So I take one car that pays for the plotter. Um, Rent and labor is your expenses, and then there's a lot of other hidden expenses, but things that seem out of your reach might not necessarily be out of your reach. But I don't see people talking about that a lot on the Facebook groups. I see them talking about trying to afford something. Sometimes you don't have to afford. I mean, it's nice to just pay cash and be paid for, and a lot of people get to the point where they can do that, but a lot of people don't. I'm one of those who don't. I like to live just past what I actually have. I don't want to say above my means, because one thing I noticed about the way I spend money is the more money I spend, the more ways I find to make money. So it keeps everything balanced. But I know people that I do envy that's like, oh yeah, this is all paid for and everything. Well, guess what? Mine's not. I worked for 22 years for other people, and then went working on my own. And when you're on a fixed budget, that weekly, it's like, if anything happens, it's a struggle all of a sudden. You go from that to making real tinner money, and I learned how to spend money. My second year in, I went to the dealership, and I always seemed to have a car payment, but I had a used car payment, and like I was driving a Mountaineer for $283 a month. And in 2013, I was like, I thought I'd buy the old lady a $200 a month vehicle. And we went to the Nissan dealership, and we looked at and drove everything on there. She didn't like anything. Finally, she found one she liked, and um, so I bought it. I didn't even care at that point how much it was or what it was. Turns out it was a brand new 2013 Nissan Murano Platinum Edition, and it was $40,000. And after I got done signing the papers for it, I'm like, well, I've never bought a new car before, and I just bought her new car? That ain't right. I'm like, how much you give me on that Mountaineer out there? And so we negotiated and haggled and spent another $40,000 on a Pathfinder and walked out of there. And I got super good interest too. But still, between the two, it was $1,300 a month in payments. And oh yes, the car insurance went up too.
Yeah. And nobody thinks about
But
that.
then you just increase your hustle, and so that was cool. And by 2017, we became a distributor. I mean, we hustled that hard that we bought that much film that we were allowed to say, no, I want to distribute your film now. And they were like, okay. But I've always started from behind the gates, never was I got a pocket full of money, let me invest that into a new business. It's like, okay, I'm going to start a new business. Let's see how we can make this thing work. Your dog's whining.
Yeah. Get away.
He's like, you're not paying attention to me. You're just sitting there not paying attention to me. Why aren't you paying attention to me?
Look, you see that? You're on camera. Be quiet.
Hi, Poppy.
I can't pick that one up. I can't pick that one up. That one's too heavy. We have a really big dog in here too. That one I definitely can't pick up. It's Saint Bernard Doodle. It's huge.
Saint Bernard Doodle. Hey, odds are getting better because a lot of people have bailed. We're closing in on 6 o'clock. I like to give shit away, and you got some dash towels for me. So I think I want to give a dash towel away. Does anybody want a dash towel? If you want a dash towel, I got this. Let me switch me and you around for a minute.
If you got a
We'll put
dash,
you
if you
down
want a
here for a minute.
dash towel, you got to share it though. Get some more people in here.
Well, right now their odds are good because we got 19 viewers between Facebook and YouTube, and I'm going to give a dash towel away. And we have this thing.
Oh,
Vinny,
there you go.
69 is not going to work because I got numbers 1 through 50. And,
There goes the
oh,
chat.
you know
People
what?
are in there now.
Oh yeah, you start talking about free stuff and they get real active.
Yeah, especially when you start talking about
Let's
numbers.
see.
I'll tell you what, you ever watch Tenor Tuesday and you'd be like, come on, put a number. Well, you only can put so many numbers in at a time and you really get booted. Even if you, and Liz said it, back out and back in. That doesn't work sometimes. It's like, can't do that. And your number really does come up and they skip you. But
Don picked 33. So Joe, Invasion HD picked 33 2 weeks in a row and both weeks won. He won a keg the first week and a scuttle shuttle the second week.
so you should
Don
take
Viles
33
is like-
off of the wheel.
Don Viles is like, I'm going to try this. I got 33. So,
Well,
oh,
everybody
Invasion.
can't have
Don
33.
Viles already beat you to it. You got to pick a new number.
How about I say?
You know what? No, you can pick the same number. That's fine. If we get 2 people with the same number, I'll just give each of them a dash towel. That's cool. Vinny says he gets nothing this week. 33 is out. Oh, did I take 33 out? Oh. Does anybody see 33 on the wheel? Oh, there it
I'm
is.
looking.
Yep, it's
Yeah,
blue.
it's blue.
Yep. Corey said 23. Vinny's taking 33, so we got 3 33s. Victor says 24. Oh, Invasion decided to switch. He says he's going to take 50. Don's confirming it's still there. All right, everybody got your number? Remember, only pick one number. If I find you on the board twice, I'm boycotting you. Everybody gets a pick. Brian's like, I'll take number 3.
I tell you what, it's a lot better being on this side, being on the camera instead of being delayed. It's nice.
Yeah.
Because you're not delayed. You're not delayed no more.
No, it is pretty low latency. So there's still a little bit, but definitely not as much as the stream. I'm not 100%. Well, I think the stream is so delayed because there's a lot going on there. You know, not just me uploading a video, but they've got to send it out, broadcast it to everybody that's watching, and that's a thing. Yes, blown,
Yeah.
you can get 46. All right, so
How many people's watching now? Same amount?
Vinny says he's we're at 25 now. Yeah, right about this time it seems to always blow up a little bit too.
He's giving away a
Vinny
dash
says
towel
he's up. We're giving away a dash
somewhere.
towel. And this is the extra large one. So this one's actually 32 by 72. So it's a little deeper than the other dash towels, and it's a full 6 foot wide. So it'll cover any dash that you're doing. So that makes it pretty awesome. And it's white, so you can see the edge to cut your film. And dash for everyone. Hey Chamal, did you pick a number? I don't feel like you picked a number.
He picked me.
Spin. All right. Joe has spoken. He said spin. So let's
Flip it.
interact. And everybody's ready?
All right.
Okay, we got 47 for Pin.
Tim Pro's got it.
If it lands on 33 again this week, I'm just gonna take 33 off the board.
Go 46.
5.
Nobody got
Who
5.
had 5? It's too low. Nobody wants 5.
Ooh.
Anybody have
Oh.
5?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not on my side.
That's okay. I don't see anybody with 5. And if they
5
do
seconds
have
this way.
5, I was going to say, I'm just scrolling real quick just to make sure, but
I looked on. I would assume my chat's the same as yours. I didn't see any of mine.
yeah, me either. Tim Bros, you can't pick multiple numbers. Pick one. 27 or 30. You can't just keep picking numbers. You get disqualified that way. I'm closest. No, we'll spin it again. It's okay. Tim Bros, I need a final number for you. You got multiple entries. I need a single number. Corey said nope.
Hey, look, I got
Tim
5.
Bros,
This point,
27.
I don't.
Okay. All right, here we go. Tim Bros. Oh, I saw DW had 27. We're going to go 30. All right, Martin Cisco's going to go. Martin, I haven't had to send you a free gift in a while over in Puerto Rico. All right, here we go. Enough numbers. Tim Pro, you can't change your number. Oh, goodness. So that was close. Who got 14? Because, like, I am freaking out right now because that almost landed on 50 and Invasion HD changed his number to 50.
I don't see 14. Somebody had no 14.
No, me either. Can't switch it around. No, so close, Joe. Yeah, that was super close.
Nobody.
So we'll go ahead and close that. We're going to spin it again. Don't pick no more numbers, people. Whoa. Joe was probably like, what the hell? 3. I think there is a 3.
Or a 33.
I saw a low number. Yep, 3. Brian Feltz. Oh, man. I just shipped him out of Scuttlebutt today.
Oh, no.
Yes, he's the guy that makes the scuttle shuttles. Look at that. He's on it, too. He's like, I had 3. Brian, we're sending you a dash towel. Okay, so let me write this down because I will forget. What else can I give away? This is fun. I usually give away more than one prize.
Well, if you want, you can go to my website and my Keep On Tintin hat. If somebody wants one of those hats, I'll give away one of those. As long as I have the color in stock, they can have I'll ship out a hat to somebody.
Ooh. Okay, we'll close this.
But if you
We're,
want to have
we're
something else
gonna.
too, you can go do that.
Well, I'm thinking. Let's. What else? What else do we have? What else do we have? I didn't bring a bunch of stuff in here except for the tint keg parts. We don't want to
I
just
was
give
going to
away
say,
tint keg parts.
hey, if nobody has that brass handle, that brass handle is super nice. Everybody's
The
using
brass
the
handle
plastic
is
one.
super handle. Well, the plastic one is a little cheaper, so you know.
I would never use that plastic one ever again in my life. You know what? Actually, I have the plastic one on the gray hose. That's probably why I don't use the gray hose.
There you go.
That's why I don't use the gray hose.
I
The
started
plastic is
putting
on it.
brass ones on the giveaway hoses. I started putting brass ones lately, just because you know what? That's the one that I use. So, all right. So we're gonna do a T-Town hat, and actually we're gonna do a couple hats because he's got to make a test run on a Tinner Battles hat too. Nobody's got 4. Who's got 4?
The golfer. Four. That golf course that stole our money for
Brian needs a
advertising.
lid for a tank.
What happened? Did you throw it away? I don't lose. How do you lose them?
Yeah, how'd you lose your lid? He probably has a tank that doesn't have a Schrader valve yet.
Oh,
And okay, we're gonna close that. We don't have a 4. Let's go ahead and just respin.
Victor's in.
Oh, 8.
That's so close.
I don't think we got an 8 either. Let me just double check. You guys got to get me at least 50 people in here and everybody pick a different number and then we're good. This is the downfall to picking a number.
No 8s.
No 8s. Okay, we're gonna close.
Downfall, but then you don't have to type all the names in though.
Right. That's the downfall to the names. But that's okay. We just keep spinning. Just keep spinning. Here we go. 22. Somebody's got to have 20. Oh, wait.
Somebody was
48.
24.
Fuck.
Oh. No 48 over here so far.
I got a 47
Nope.
for Tint Pro.
No 48.
No.
BS. Well, pick a better number, Vinny.
Yeah, you guys are.
I don't even know what your number is.
Tint Pro said 22.
We got a 47. Uh-oh. Well, what did Tim Pro have? Which number was Tim Pro's?
Well, he just said that. Oh, now he's like, I got. All right, now we got to go confirm.
Me and Shamal, we be talking about hats all the time, so I'm gonna have to just make him his hat he really needs and send both of them.
Where is he? Wait a minute, Tint Pro 40. No, I don't. Oh, he did pick 47.
He's like, yeah, I won.
Looks like 47 was the first number he picked too.
Let's give it to him. He's a great guy.
We'll give it to him. And you know what? Make him a hat and embroider 47 on it.
I think that's the truth.
All right, so I don't know. I feel like I feel like I don't know. I'm gonna try to be more prepared for next Tuesday. Next Thursday I'm leaving. I'm driving. Me and the wife are driving down to Florida, and I hate it, but we're not leaving enough time to actually stop and visit anybody along the way, which sucks because I'm going to drive right past you. maybe on the way back though, but on the way back, I think our schedule's even tighter because by the time we get back from Florida, they're gonna have this place burnt to the ground, and that's scary all by itself. I don't like leaving. But
Ah,
the, they say you're successful if you can leave your business and your business still runs. So this is like the test. I haven't done this. I've left early on a Friday before, but
well,
I'm
I'll tell
leaving
you
on.
what. With the tent shop, with your tent whiz, you can keep your company running. You just say you're booked up for that week and you're booked for the next week. And you just keep sending out proposals. I'm just saying. I went to Traverse City last summer and I was answering stuff. It's just, yep, I'm booked up. Yep, sorry, I can't get you in. I got you Monday, whatever. Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, so we're gonna get Jamal a hat, and I'm gonna get with you. I'm because how long does it take for turnaround for the digitizer? Are they pretty quick or?
It depends on which one I use. One depends on how busy I have her because the one time I had her really busy, it's usually about 24 hours. But
Okay.
I do have one that takes a couple days. But uh, usually I tell her by the next day, like, hey, can I have that in the afternoon?
You know what I just
I always
realized with my
I
spinner
always push the
wheel?
limits though.
I got to bring this down because I just realized this. I usually have this crapped out, but I can see the whole thing when I spin it because I have to click the internet act. But look at that. They just go ahead and throw that
Huh.
up there. Hey, I know something I can send out a bunch of. How's everybody feeling about the whole Ukraine Russia thing? Because hang on a second.
Chris C. Yep. Go ahead, put your number in there. We're waiting. He's gonna give something away. We'll see what he gives away. But if you guys want to, go check out my website too. All my stuff on there. I got hats. Tons of hats. So what you got, Rick?
Well, I had an emotional moment one morning. I was watching some videos on TikTok, and they were showing us the videos of the happenings over there, and they were showing the school that was bombed, and they were showing an apartment building that was bombed and bloody people, and I saw a clip of a tank swerving to run over a car to find out there was a little old lady driving the car, and she ended up living, but I was just livid, and I felt like I should make some stickers and give them out to everybody, and so I've got a couple hundred of these because that's just how I felt that day. And then I realized that, we're so, in America, we're so torn and want to argue about everything that there's a lot of people that are standing up for Putin. And I'm not trying to get political or anything. I just thought, I don't even care about his reason for what he's doing. He's he's doing it wrong, and I'm not interested. So anybody wants a sticker, just shoot me a text message with your information unless you're already a customer. But go ahead and shoot a text message to Dis. And oh, how come that's covering you up? Well, that's dumb. That's
That's all right. I'm blue.
There we go.
Hey, just a
You're good.
closer look of the embroidery machine.
Oh yeah, it zooms right in.
No, I moved it back so we could let the dogs out.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I
So
do. Oh,
I'm
I do see it when you half them in half. I did zoom it in.
yeah. So it gives me a couple of options. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. 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 I can put you down there. I could put you over there, which is actually the button I thought I was pushing, but we can do that. But yeah, and then my wife did a face palm. I don't know how she feels about it, but yeah, anybody wants a sticker, just shoot me a text message there and let me know, and I'll get back with you, and I'll give everybody a sticker. If you're gonna place an order in the order notes. Just tell me you want a sticker. That's cool too. Oh, I like it. So I'm getting text messages that say "fuck Putin." I like it. Yeah, I'm down. We'll do that, and yeah, I mean, fly it proud. I think what's going on with everybody fighting against him. You know, you got Visa, Mastercard, American Express. They've all pulled out of China. Um,
China.
or out of, yeah, well, maybe next. Out of Russia.
I was
I'm
just
sorry,
like, what?
Freudian slip. I got China. China's a sore spot for me too. They're taking our jobs away. So and we're giving them to them. So that's its own problem. But yeah, so so many things have pulled out of Russia, and today, like them or hate them, you know, I support the I support the whole boycott Russia thing, and today Biden just put a ban on using any Russian oil. So right now the gas prices are going up and they're getting unbearable, and as a result of this, they're going to go up a little bit more. But then he just released 60 million barrels of oil, 30 million of which we own, which is going to counteract that. And hopefully it doesn't get too bad. But I don't know. We as a nation, we need to stand up to people like that. And I kind of understand the fears and going and fighting them, you know, face to face, because if somebody like us goes in there, you know, what's going to happen? Is he going to freak out and push that button? You know, he's locked away somewhere. It's not like we can get to him. You know, we can kill all of his troops, and you know, once it's looking like a bloodbath. But I don't know. I'm hoping the best solution is to get him to just be like, well, this was the bad idea. I don't think I'm going to do this. Let me figure out how to, you know, I don't know.
The only time I turn on the news anymore is just to see what the weather's going to be like, and that's about it.
Dude, right now the best coverage on this thing is on TikTok. It really is. You know, because on TikTok you get a lot of the Ukraines, and they're they're showing you what's happening, and they're not getting paid for it. Well, actually, they might start getting paid for it, because I guess you get enough followers and you get enough views. They all pay. So, but yeah, Brian, I'm going to be sending you a dash towel, so I'll throw you a couple in there. And um, oh, Lobo says gas is almost $5 by him. Yeah, yesterday, funny story, you know, and I knew that, I know this has been coming, you know, with all this going on over there. You just know it's coming with the gas prices. Yesterday morning, I looked at the gas pump on my way to work, and I need gas, and I'm like, I don't feel like it. It's 2.89. I got out of work, it's 4.25. I'm like, really? Who knew you could put $70 in gas in a Kia Telluride?
My wife just filled up the gas tank this morning. It was $42 in our cruise. She's like,
Wow. Yeah.
well, I have a truck too, so my truck takes like 24 gallons, and I seen. I mean, it was probably a couple of weeks ago. My buddy put 20 gallons in his in whatever he had, and it was like $100. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I had a customer come in today. He's got a, I don't know, some, I don't, something. He, he was like, man, I put $50 in and it just only put me to whatever. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I want to fill it up, but it's going to hurt too much. I'm like, well, when did you put $50 in? He says, yesterday. I says, well, go fill it up today. It won't hurt as much.
That was
If you
always my
fill it up when it's,
philosophy. When I was in high school, I might have put $5-10 in my gas tank, but back then it was $1.30 something. But anymore, it's like if you're gonna fill your car up, just fill it up. You're gonna go through it. Yes, $100 is bad, but you're just gonna go
yep,
through
yep,
it anyways. Just fill it up.
yep. And, I went through a period that, I don't know, freaking quarter tank scared me. And, but
I mean, it's not good
my
to run your
wife,
tank down low.
my wife is just the opposite. She's like, yeah, whatever, I got enough. And then when it's like 3 miles still empty, she's like, yeah, but that's not true. It'll go way further. And I'm like, but I've been with her for like 14 years and it's kind of rubbed off on me. I was leaving work one day a couple weeks ago, and I live 4.7 miles or something from work. I got in my car. It said 4 miles till empty. I'm like, well, I guess I got to get gas. Well, I get to the gas station. It's a mile till empty, but they got those yellow plastic bags over all the damn pumps. I'm like, what the fuck? And I drove a couple more miles down the road to the next gas station, and yeah, I passed zero, and it was still running. So I don't know how much they give you, but
Well, my cruise that when it after it tells you the gas is like you got like I don't even know what it is like 25 miles. It doesn't tell you no more. Like after it hits at least I know it's at least 20 miles to empty. It tells you just fill up. It don't even tell you that you have 4 miles a gallon to go.
it's like we ain't even playing this game. My
It
Pathfinder
is.
was kind of like that. My Pathfinder, I think, was 14 miles. It would go to dashes, and I'm like, but what about that 14 miles? I'm keeping track. But now it goes all the way to zero on the Kia. It's like, oh yeah, and I know it goes past at least a mile past zero. So
At least a mile.
yeah, at least a mile. That's all the further I've went. Well, it's 6:15. I've done run this thing over again. I think that we should spread it out a little bit. Um, Brian's here. Hey, Brian, you're late. We're just getting
Like
ready to close up. But it is Tinner Tuesdays, so he does that on Instagram, doesn't he?
yeah, Instagram. Yep.
Okay, well, damn. I need to learn how to do the Instagram thing. I got an Instagram account and I answer messages on it, but besides that, I don't know what to do with it.
All you gotta do is if you follow him on Instagram, up top it'll tell you he's live. You just click on his button and you watch him live.
Oh,
That's all you do. Like
well, I
the
should go
stories,
find it.
it'll tell you on the stories. You just click up top there, and it goes. You can go live on Instagram too. So if you ever want to go live on Instagram, you just go live.
I don't even know how to do that shit.
You just
We'll talk about it another time.
all right.
I have all this fancy stuff that I got to figure out. I think that I can, though. I think I just got to enter it into my stuff. So,
Yeah, it's just that top bar. It's just that top bar up there. You'll see him live up top.
oh, so I have to be on Instagram to see him because I think I
Yeah,
follow
I
him.
mean you can do it on you can do it on the computer.
Huh.
You can do it on the computer.
Yeah, David's on here wanting to talk controversially, and
Oh,
there's there's a lot of controversy in that. I uh, I don't want to open up that can of worms.
I think you already did. But the best way to cancel it is just to get off the show.
Yes. So with
But
that, we're
I'm not
already
in a rush.
17 minutes over. So, well, I'm still at work. You're at work, which is super close to home.
Very close to home. Very close. And I will work. And I'm about to make a phone call as soon as we get off the phone.
Well, damn. And I don't have any
Yep.
fancy buttons to start my car. Is it cold outside? Oh,
And then the phone
the
rings and
phone's
it
ringing.
shuts off. It only rang once.
We need old people tutorials. Yeah, maybe we'll do a special segment and some people can get in here and show us how to use all these other social media platforms and figure it out. That'd be fun.
I know I had somebody call me last night at like on the business line at like 4:21 in the morning. Called the tent line. Like,
Damn.
okay. Good thing I have do not disturb on, so it didn't wake me up. But I woke up this morning. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
Shoot a
we got the
text.
same thing. Our phone system shuts off at 6, so you can't call now.
My whole
You can
phone,
text.
my whole phone shuts off. Not whole phone, but the only ones that can get a hold of me is people that are my favorites, or if you call 15 times in a row. That's the only time it rings through. So
15 times. It better be a fucking emergency.
yep.
Oh, Matt, YouTube thinks his stream is still live. Oh, huh. Well, that should have ended a long time ago. Maybe it is still live.
2 hours ago.
Yeah.
2 hours and 19 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, it does say he's live. And there's 3 people watching.
Who's watching?
Oh
It's
my
probably
God,
it's
he
probably,
is.
no.
Oh no, he's not live. Okay. I was gonna say I clicked on the link and he was sitting there talking and I'm like, oh, he is live. And then it started doing the swirly thing. Huh. 6 hours and counting. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call it for tonight. Next up is on Instagram, Tint Dude 3, right?
Yep.
If you ain't following him, follow him. He's a big part of the Tinner Battles, and I'm sure he's gonna be talking some juicy stuff. I don't even know what's going on. I can't even keep track of it all right now, but it goes right to the end and spins. Yep. Well, mine will probably do that too then. I don't know. We're going to find out. You guys have a good night. And Tim, I'll be talking to you probably tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, definitely give me that logo, whatever you want to do. At least if you can, shoot me that logo tonight, whatever you want to do, and I'll make sure it's going to be good enough. If you have a logo for it already.
Yeah, and you got my logo, right?
I have your logo, yep.
All right.
Nope, I don't have
one
it.
too, and
I put all my logos real big in the middle.
oh, well, there's that.
No, it's just in the
alrighty.
bottom corner. All right, man.
We'll see you guys.
See ya.